Kim here from Kimberbell, and I'm excited to share with you another tutorial that I'm calling the flat satin flower that we use in punch needle. Let me show you a few examples of where you might find this. Let's take a look at this cowgirl boot here. This one has a whole lot of flowers coming out of it, and right here with this blue flower as well as even the pink flower next to it, you can see that it is a flat satin flower. That means those stitches are jumping from one side of that flower petal to the next. And then we just topped it off with a little bling there in the middle. Let me show you another example. Here we've got one that's a sewing machine themed, and I did this flower in a gorgeous yellow color. And once again, it's jumping from one side of that flower petal to the next, and then continuing on. So let's go ahead and show you how easy that is. I'm going to take this project here, and right here you can see that there are three little petals drawn there, and that's where I want my flat satin flower stitch to go. To start that, I'm going to take my needle and just place it right down at the top of the stem, or at the base of the petal, I guess you could say. Bring it all the way down, and then of course pull that yarn behind to the back so that you have a little tail. Okay. Now I want to jump across to the edge of the petal, or to the end of the petal. So I'm going to start with the far right side and just place my needle down. Do you see how that yarn dragged behind the needle? So then I lift my needle up, and then I drag it all the way across to the base of the petal again in that same hole. Punch down all the way to the base of your handle. Lift it up just barely to glide across to the top again of the petal, and punch, and then back down into that same hole. Okay, you've done your first petal. Let's go ahead and go to the second petal. Once again, I'm going to start on the right hand side of the petal, and I'm just going to jump and drag my yarn all the way to the top side of that second petal, like that. Back down to the center, continue up to the top, back down to the center bottom there, and then back up to the top and to the center bottom. Let's finish this off by just jumping and dragging that yarn to and fro. There we go. So once you've gone to that last stitch, just go ahead and lift your needle up, trim your yarn at the base, and then pull it through to the back. Okay, so as you can see here, I did the three petals just like so, but you would do the same technique even with, say, a 5 or 6 petal flower. So for example, let's take a look at this one in the cowgirl boot. We've got 5 different petals going on, and I would just continue that process by starting on the right hand side of the petal and continuing on, and then going to the right hand side of the petal and continuing on. Each time you're going to go down in that same hole. Now, if your petals become so large, or you have so many petals that the hole is not holding the yarn so much anymore, it's absolutely okay to go in a hole that's maybe right next to it. And maybe it's just a little strand over from that first initial hole that you had punched in the center. That's absolutely okay. Once all those petals are done, you're never going to be able to tell where the original hole started or stopped. Now you'll notice that this flower is just a little bit thicker than this one next to it. It's just a matter of how many jumps you made to fill in each petal. So have fun with the flat satin flower.